Hi students, so in this tutorial I will give you the introduction of 3ds Max 2019. Okay, so 3ds Max is used for this thing architectural, interior and exterior design purpose, but also gaming design and character modeling for the gaming design and some other design purpose. Okay, so here we got the complete output of 3ds Max 2019. So if we look at the output of this thing 3ds Max 2019, it's a similar kind of AutoCAD software. The same kind of outline you can find out in AutoCAD software also. Okay, let's go. We will check out the menu bar here. If you click on in the top view, see here there is a file new, and opening files and importing an object from outside. For example, any kind of DWG or some other formats, OBJ, DXF, it's supported to 3ds Max. So such files we import from outside. So that is what the import option. The similar kind of exporting 3ds Max, OBJ, DXF or some other related formats. Okay, and here saving the file, save as. And once you click on the edit, and here you will find out moving an object, rotating an object and scaling an object. In the sense of if you create any kind of object here in Viewport. Okay, so for that you need to moving, rotating and scaling an object is needed. So for that purpose, so these tools are mandatory. Okay, here tools, layer explorer and grouping an object. So all these things, menu bars are giving the options. Okay, so let's go for the viewport. So viewport in the sense of, so we got four viewport. I mean top view and front view. This is the left and right for both views. You can change it here. And this one is the perspective view in the sense of you can visible to all the views. Okay, here is the command panel. So once you create any kind of object in viewport, so here the parameter it will come the values, the length, width and height, all the values you can increase once you create the object from here. Okay, this is the timeline is needed for the animation purpose. For example, if you do any object and you can animate the camera. Once you create the object, you are moving a camera animation, for example 0 to 100 frames. So those time this is needed, the timeline animation. So this is the needed in the end of your project when you doing your project. Okay, so our lecture class is related to the architectural and interior and exterior design. Okay, so for that what we do in the sense of we import DWG files. In the sense of we import DWG format files from outside, like any kind of a designs from outside. For example, if an engineer he made a plan for any kind of commercial or residential plans, those plans designed by any of the designer who made in AutoCAD or some other CAD formats. Okay, those files See, we import in 3ds Max and we build in 3D. Same it is. We build in 3D means first of all we create the height, wall, windows and all other objects. Okay. So that is what our lecture class. So this is the introduction about 3ds Max 2019. Okay. So if we talking about interior design means we do different kind of models as per the same dimensional, I mean the measurement and all exactly same. So we have the tool, we have the tape option to measure the height of an object, the different kind of objects we are creating in 3ds Max. So for that, so we take those objects measurements here. So the similar kind of height width measurements we take and we build in 3D. See, first of all, we start from modeling portion. See, once we talking about the architectural interior and exterior design, for that, in the beginning we start modeling portion. Modeling in the sense of creating different kind of object. So once we finish the basic modeling, then we go for the detail portion. Then we go for the advanced level techniques. The similar way, once we finish the modeling portion, we have the texturing portion. Texturing means, so we provide, once we creating an object, so we apply the textures or coloring combination. So different kind of textures like wall, I mean the tiles textures or some other textures. Okay, so those textures is related on the coloring combination. So for that we have the material editor called a material editor. Okay, so that is to the texturing part. So once we finish the texturing part, we have one more option, one more method called a lighting. So once we finish the object, once we finish the 3D models, then we go for the texturing, then we go for the lighting portion. So for that we have one more plugin name called V-Ray. So what we do, we install V-Ray software in 3ds Max 2019. So it's a similar kind of version. So this is 3ds Max 2019. Okay, the same year version V-Ray software we install in this plugin, we install in this software. So we apply that light to our object. So once we finish the lighting portion, we render it. Rendering in the sense of we converting our 3D scene into a pictures. Like for example, I created one interior design. So I applied the texturing and all the materials I applied to that object. Then I applied lighting. Lighting means, for example, the daylight. How the daylight, naturally, if we're talking about the daylight, the sunlight, it passes from the window. How the natural shadows will be there in inside of a home. So those kind of shadows, the natural shadows you will get once you apply the daylight, the sunlight, the similar kind of night light effects we will get in V-Ray. So for that, we install a plugin name called V-Ray. Okay, so that is the first of all modeling, then texturing, then lighting, rendering, and animation is the last portion of an object. Okay, so here we have 4 views. Okay, so what I will do, so I just click on one box here. So I just drag and drag it up. Okay, so I created one box here. So once I create the box, you can visible an object portion. Okay, this is the top view of object, and this is the left and right view of an object. The similar way here is the front view and of front view of an object, and here is the perspective view of an object. And I will explain how to enter this viewport. And here also we can possible, but I will tell you some of the shortcuts tools to create. Shortcuts tools are easier. Okay, so I just okay, so I just click on here in perspective view, then click on Alt W. Okay, you just note it down. So how to enter, how to enlarge a particular viewport. Okay, so this is the Alt W, and zoom in and zoom out, scroll in, scroll out. In mouse you just scroll in and scroll out. These two options are working for the zoom in and zoom out an object. Okay, Alt W to enlarge a particular viewport. So I just click on the front view, just click on the mouse in front view, and then click on Alt W. Okay, now I entered the complete viewport of a front view. The similar way, just click on in a top view and just click on the Alt W. Now the top viewport is visible. The similar way, I just click on the left. So I entered a completely enlarged this particular viewport. Okay, and zoom in and zoom out, scroll in and scroll out option. And one more thing, Alt and middle mouse button to rolling an object in viewport. Okay, click Alt together with the middle mouse button, just click like this, so you can rotating, possible to rotate. Like you can possible to view all the axes. Okay, and one more thing, and if you click on the edit, there is moving, rotating and scaling an object. So for that, here in shortcut key, in W for rotate, W for moving an object. Like you can possible to move X, Y and Z axis. So here you can visible in the below X values, Y values and Z values in the sense of Z values. So once you moving an object in viewport particular, for example, I am moving the object in X axis, you can possible to view in axis the values are changing. The similar way, if you just check it on Y axis, it's moving in Y axis. And also Alt and middle mouse button, then okay, so X, Y and Z. Okay, these are the axis, and you can possible to make the object is almost center of viewport. How you need to make all these values 0. Just check on the front view. See, I click on the F is in front view. This is the L for left view, and T for top view, and P for perspective view. Okay, so in the next tutorial I will explain